Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Hillbilly Files. My name is Leo, and I will be your host today on a little story from yesteryear, from way back, a tragic tale, as a matter of fact. I am in Pike County, Kentucky, in a little community called Burnwell, as a matter of fact. Aunt Betty's house from the Hatfield-McCoy feud is right down here. Johnsy and Rosanna's baby from the Hatfield-McCoy feud is right over there, on top of that little hill right over there. So I am definitely in an area steeped with rich history, for sure. I am standing in the middle of a cemetery, obviously, and well, the Patterson Plot, part of it is Patterson Plot anyway. Heather and I pieced this story together from newspaper articles, from obituaries, that sort of thing, and just sort of pieced the story together. So basically this will probably be this man's only testimony, his only testament, his only legacy. We're out here today to tell you guys the story of Arlon Patterson. Now, Arlon was born on March 31st in 1924, right here in the coal-rich hills of Pike County, Kentucky. And like I said, I'm only literally a couple hundred yards from Aunt Betty's house from the Hatfield-McCoy feud, and Rosanna and Johnson's baby's right over there on the hill, But as y'all know, about the area, life here was never easy, but it was particularly hard during this particular time period. Now, he was the son of Wayne Patterson and Alice Markham Patterson, raised here in the small community of Burnwell, Kentucky. Like many of his generation, Arlon worked very hard and kept mostly to himself. But he had a large family. He had 5 sisters and 2 brothers, and he stayed close to them. He spent most of his life in the same area he was born in, a quiet man living a life of hard labor and routine. But on September 7th in 1955, tragedy struck in the most unexpected way. That day, 31-year-old Arlon was working alone inside his father's private coal mine. Something not uncommon in the region in family-run mines. It's still to this day, if you have one. At some point during the day, he's believed to have suffered an epileptic seizure. With no one around to help him, Arlon collapsed and fell face down into a shallow little puddle of water on the ground inside the mine. The Pike County Deputy Coroner Russell Rogers later confirmed the heartbreaking truth. Arlon had died from suffocation after being unable to lift his head out of this small puddle of water. Some reports use the word strangulation, but that was probably just a misstatement on the records. Either way, the result was the same. His airway was cut off while he lay unconscious and helpless, face down in the puddle. It was his father, Wayne, who found him later. The time was around 4:15 p.m., and the sight of his son lifeless in the mine must have been a blow that no parent should ever have to experience. Anyway, Arlon's body was taken from the Belfry Funeral Home back to the Patterson home, where family and neighbors gathered for services. On Saturday morning at 11 a.m., Reverend David Allen led the funeral at the family's home. Later that day, Arlon was laid to rest here at the Patterson Family Cemetery plot, not far from where he was born, lived, and also where his story came to a tragic end. His death was sudden and senseless. It was a reminder of just how fragile life can be, especially in the coal mines, where so many Appalachians earned their living and also met their fates. Arlon's death never made the headlines of the major newspapers, but his life still mattered. He was a brother, a son, and a man just trying to make it through each day, living here in the hills of Kentucky during a really difficult time. So that's why I'm here today, to shine a little light on Arlon one last time and to share his story with all of you guys. Somewhere in your frame, somewhere in your video, I'm not exactly sure, somewhere Arlon lays within your view. I'm not sure which one, but he is here. And it just goes to show just a tragic, how one moment everything can be fine and your life is all going great, and then a minute later, wham, and everything changes. And it just kind of brings home the point to, you know, to do the things you want to do and say the things you should have said, you know, that sort of thing. There's a lesson to be learned from Arlon's death. Now there's no way you could go back in time and prevent the seizure, you know, from happening. But like I said, there is a lesson to be learned here. The lesson is pretty obvious in my opinion. The lesson is to tell the people you love that you love them while you can. Anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed our little story and revisiting Arlon one more time, to bring his story out and share it with you guys and keep his memory alive just a little bit longer. This is Leo with the Hillbilly Files. We will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and Leo out.